Hey guys, this is something new. We got us a Battlefield briefing for Battlefield 2042 May update. Let's see what's up. Let's see what they got in store for us.
Over the past few months, we've been focusing on what's next for Battlefield 2042. We've been taking this time to listen to you, our players, so we can focus on improving and evolving the game based on what we've heard. Our updates in this time have seen the arrival of features that weren't present at launch, as well as extensive improvements and fixes. We hope this shows you just how invested we are in this game. So, while we won't be revealing Season 1 today, that's for next month, we will be giving you an overview of what
Next
we're
month.
focusing on and what you should expect over the next few months.
I thought Season 1 was early
Battlefield
June.
2042.
But, okay.
Hey folks, I'm Freeman, Battlefield's Community Manager. I'm joined by Senior Producer Ryan MacArthur and Creative Director Lars Gustafsson. Let's start by talking about the main focus areas that we've identified and the types of things we're looking to improve.
So here's my issues. I got two major issues and a minor one. Number one, lack of content. It's been like 8 months. We haven't got anything besides the skins, which, okay, fine. We got no new guns. We got no new maps, no new vehicles, no new specialists, no new gadgets, no new nothing for 8 months, okay? In 8 months in Battlefield 4, I think like all the DLCs were out. There was like 80 guns or something. We're like still at 22. That's freaking insane. I know what happened. I know they're saving it for Season 1 to kind of like restart the game and whatnot. But man, I mean, people are very patient. Just like already left, and we all know like the game lost like I don't know, like 96% of its player base. Number two, the maps too wide, not enough cover. All right, it's just maybe like make them a bit smaller and make them a bit tighter. That would be like a good start. I've seen some images here. Maybe that's what they're doing. Number three, and a minor one, dedicated servers. There's nothing worse than like a non or persistent lobbies. There's nothing worse like finishing a game, getting into another one that's like halfway started, ending it, getting into another game that's halfway started, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, we spent
I hope
a lot
they
of
work
time
on that.
taking feedback from the players, looking at the data we have in the game, and just looking at the game we intended to build. So we've got our maps. You know, how do we bring back those classic Battlefield experiences that allow players to sort of play the classic Battlefield they want? And that's with all the new.
And by the way, I have no problem with the 128 players. I have no problem with the specialists. I think it's fine.
Maps we create, but also how do we address the challenges that we have with the existing maps that we've launched?
Honestly, you should have known this about this like before the game came out. Like this is not something. This is not a question you ask like 8 months into the game. How can we fix the maps? This should have been done like before the game came out. Jesus Christ.
Our
Getting
gamers and
angry.
experiences,
Anyways.
how do we add variety? How do we add depth? How do we add differentiation across all of the modes in the game? The core gameplay, sort of that really tight through the gun experience. Obviously, there's been a lot of feedback around specialists.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually surprised they're actually still working on this game.
Gunplay,
But anyways.
you know, soldier movement, all of these things that sort of really make that tight Battlefield experience that our players love. And obviously new content. When's new content coming?
Yeah.
What type of content can players can expect?
8
How
months.
does that new content need to change and adapt to the learnings we've got
Live
from our
service
players, the feedback
game.
we've got from our players?
All right,
Ryan,
all right.
let's start with this first section of maps. What are the changes that players can expect to see? And really, when are we expecting to actually bring them to the game?
You're going to see the first of these changes with the launch of Season 1. So the Season 1 map, it's probably my most favorite. And Lars will tell me it's because I'm Canadian. But I think for me, I mean, this map is different from the other 7 that we created at launch. It's got a ton of verticality. It's got good space for vehicle play. But it's also got those things that make a Battlefield map great. When you look at how this map plays, it's at the level we expect from ourselves as game makers here.
So if this map is great now, okay, now he's saying like, oh, this map is freaking awesome and this and that. Why wasn't this map awesome at the beginning of the game? That's my question. Like, why is it awesome now? I mean, after the changes, of course, but why wasn't this at the beginning of the game?
You know, on every map we make forward, moving forward with season beyond Season 1, we start to apply these new standards we've set. But also the team has done a real deep dive into the maps we created for launch. Kaleidoscope is the first one we're going to see. So late in Season 1, you're going to see
Okay, it's talking about the new map.
reintroduction of Kaleidoscope that sort of has you know, the things that we see our players really craving at the moment.
Let's take a look at that and have a look at some of the changes.
On Kaleidoscope, we've revised areas
And they did show us this before on. They did release some images before, right?
across the entire level, adding more cover, creating new flag positions, and improving the flow across.
So here's my problem, right? They're adding new cover here, I believe, right? But what about all this? What about all this? All this? All this? It feels like the only cover you have is here, B1, B2, D1, and like the towers at G, not G, but like F2, for example. What about the rest? Where's and like A, but nobody goes there usually. I am active in the game actually. I'm not like some nobody, you know, just like I never played the game and I complain about it. I actually played the goddamn game.
Map. Cover and terrain has been raised and new forward operating bases have been added to increase close quarters combat.
That's good.
Not only that, but we've made sure more of the new assets that we've used on this map benefit from increased destruction, helping to change the battlefield more drastically throughout the rounds. Let me show you around the changes we've made. In the park, we've installed a forward operating base. Heavily fortified, this is great to defend and a challenge to attack. At the data center, we've increased the number of defense points, ensuring that when you're fighting here, you're fighting for every
It was always a problem approaching this spot from across the river, which is here.
inch. Each entrance is now better protected, and we've helped to improve line of sight breaks throughout the area. At the tower, you'll find the second command and control base.
You know what like pisses me off? Like it actually angers me. I'm watching this video. I didn't expect this anger to like flow over me, but why wasn't this here at the beginning? Why wasn't this here at the beginning? Like what the fuck? It looks great. Why wasn't this here 8 months ago? I'll tell you why. Because the game wasn't ready and it was released anyways.
This is a crucial flag with a much clearer front line and more cover for attackers to use in their advance. Over at the park, we've ripped out the walkways.
Imagine
and
that,
created more
obstacles
cover.
on a map.
You'll
Holy
find that the
shit,
infantry
that's new.
experience has improved here, adding a giant tree and making the gazebo smaller to create a stronger defensive layout.
And now, while a little earlier in the process, let's take a look at Renewal and how it is that'll play when it arrives in Season 2.
Okay.
Like with Kaleidoscope, the whole
Here's the problem with Renewal. All of this here, look at this, like wide open fields, just wide open. You want to attack? I think this was I don't remember. You want to attack this from here? You just gotta walk through all this. I mean, you could probably like sneak in there, but it ain't doing shit because your head is popping out anyways. And then you have all of this here, all this area, wide fucking open, all this area, wide open, all this area, wide open. And you know what? I play the game using SMGs. I'm always in close quarters, and I do have a lot of battlefield moments. I do have a lot of action, but I only can play this map on 2 locations, here and here. Maybe sometimes here. Forget about going to the solar plant. Forget about going to the hills. I'm just gonna get killed or sniped or some shit. So it's either here, you take a car from here, you go there, that's how you play the game. You're here and you want to go here, you take a car, you go here. And same thing for this place. But besides that, everywhere else, for me, it's basically not playable. Like, I cannot go here, I cannot go here, here, there, like...
whole map has been reviewed with the intent set on...
that's even better. See, look at this. Wide open. Look at this. Wide fucking open. Wide open besides here. Wide open. Look how much open space there is, man.
the infantry and CQC experience.
You want to run from C1 to D1? Well, I hope you don't get sniped.
Flags are much closer, with out-of-the-way sectors cut entirely from the battlefield to improve
Thank
the flow
God.
of combat.
That's good.
There's all new assets deployed across the map with improved destruction and much more of a battlefield feeling than we had at launch.
Again, I hate it when they say that. Much more of a battlefield feeling than we had at launch. Then what did you have at launch? You had nothing. You had no battlefield feeling at launch. Then it shouldn't have been a battlefield game. But anyways.
Over at the solar station, we've revised the area to include much more cover. Huge concrete barriers, sandbag walls, and shipping containers.
Wow, look at that.
saving the
Holy
warehouse
shit. A populated map. Oh my god,
as
guys.
the best
No
place
way,
to take
really?
shelter from the aerial assault. Out in the desert, we've reworked the terrain to help create clear paths for infantry and vehicles. There's improved line of sight blockers that let you move with more purpose between the flags and help to better direct the action into clearer front lines.
It's still fairly bland if you think about it. All this spot is still like fairly bland. I would have probably placed something else in here. I mean, like some cars or something, like some wreckages, because it's still like, it's like brown. And this is it. That's all it is. I get it. It's the desert, but I don't know, something else. I don't know.
The battery farm has been simplified, reducing the number of possible angles of attack and increasing cover where it's needed most.
Again, besides
Reducing
Breakthrough,
the number of
I've never been here like in a Conquest match, ever. Unless I'm playing Breakthrough, I don't have any reason to go here. There's no point.
possible angles of attack and increasing cover where it's needed most. Up ahead at the checkpoint, we fortified the farm side, allowing attackers to move more
Oh my
strategically
God.
in their
Look
advance.
at that.
With
Jesus Christ, guys. Holy shit, really? Though still, I hope these containers go all the way, because once you're here and you're not gonna get there, you still have like an open field to go to. But
Vehicles providing your
Oh
best
my
method
god,
of
it's like it's so obvious. It's like, oh yeah, we play some actual like some actual content on the map. It's not just like a white field. I mean, like, no shit, really.
attack. Just watch
I
out
don't
for
want to complain, Lanza, because that's all I've been doing, and that's not an intention I had going in because I still play the game. I'm not like a doomsayer here. Oh my god, like Battlefield 2042, it's dead, and like like some people are doing, especially on Reddit. I do enjoy the game. Like I said, I play like in the fucking garage. I play in the building. I don't care. Like I don't care about these other spots, but traversing it really sucks. And why wasn't this from the beginning?
the traps defenders will place in wait.
It
At the
angers me.
Senesco building, expect a lot more fortification and cover that will need an
Okay, so
overwhelming
there's my answer. You can actually get the building through here. Okay, cool. And it's like a slap in the face, It's like, oh, could have done all this, but we didn't. 8 months later, we did. Now it feels like Battlefield. Then why'd you release the game? Deadlines, money, Christmas. Yeah.
display of force
Exactly.
to assault. The interiors have been reworked with new storage areas that give plenty of cover for defenders and improve the close quarters combat action once you get inside.
I didn't expect this to piss me off so much because now I see what they could have done from the beginning. Now it really
Corridors
angers
are
me.
full of more line of sight blockers, making
Oh
them
my
viable
God,
defense
you gotta
points,
be shitting me,
including
man.
new lines of sandbags across the windows. We're hard at work on more improvements to Renewal, and we'll have more to show about the changes we're making here when these updates land in Season 2. Let's talk about
Whoa, so Orbital for Season 1 and Renewal for Season 2? They're doing only one map a season? There's like 8 maps in total, right? They're not gonna have 8 seasons of this, that's for sure. I was expecting at least 2 maps. It's not like they completely changed the maps either. They're just adding geometry to it, right? They're just adding like containers and sandbags and stuff. One map per season. Holy shit. Unless the seasons are like 2 months long.
Focus, which is game modes and experience. What are the types of changes we're looking to bring here?
It's
That's really like my biggest issue besides the content, which is lacking. And I know they're saving it for Season 1 because they have nothing. They don't want to they gotta release everything at once, so people are amazed. They cannot release like one gun a week currently because nobody plays the game anymore, and it's gonna go to waste, right? So they gotta do it to build some hype, and it's like, oh guys, when you come back, get new maps, new guns, new this, new that, right? So besides the content, my biggest issue was the maps, and it's sad that what I see now, it angers me because I see what they could have done with them. And at the same time, I'm a bit disappointed because it took them like this long to make one map. Is it gonna take them that long to make another map? I mean, we're gonna get all these maps reworked by 2042.
key things. One of them is about, variety and depth of what you play. And the other part is more around the available options to give you a better understanding of what you're getting yourself into. And in order to get this, experience the best possible, we've decided to kind of unshackle ourselves from the 128 players mantra that we had for this game. 128 players will still be there, and it's great for some modes, but not everywhere. So we will redirect our focus, build for fun,
Okay.
for freedom, for
Honestly, if your maps are good from the beginning, and you had like proper gameplay on these maps, you could have done anything with 128 players. It doesn't change anything. Before, games were played like in 6 players, 8 players, 32 players, then we got to 64 players, and like that's the magic number. And then when 128 was announced, I'm like super hyped. And if the maps were fine, 128 players, it's fine because you have like more choices. The more players you have, the more choices you have on the map, where to go, what to fight, who to fight, And I really enjoy, for example, on Orbital, you can fight like in the middle building. There's people like fighting at the rooftops. There's people fighting in the park. There's people fighting everywhere. That's so cool, But obviously, something for like Rush, I guess, or something. Obviously, 128 probably wouldn't work.
creativity at all points.
That being the case, then, talk to me some more about the types of changes that we're going to be bringing specifically.
But I do
let's
enjoy
start with
128
Warfare,
players.
And let's talk about Conquest.
I enjoy the mayhem.
What improvements are we looking to bring here to the game mode?
So for all that Warfare and Conquest, 128 players is definitely a thing. Worth saying is that for the coming
Good.
maps, we will scale them down compared to the launch maps to give much more focus in the experience.
Huh. I wonder if they're doing that, what he's saying they're doing it for focus and experience, or they're doing it because we don't have the team to make large maps anymore, so scale them down because we don't have the team to make large, competent maps anymore, so scale it down and throw everything in it,
This might mean that, there will be fewer sectors, we have maybe fewer capture points, but ultimately
I just hope they're not, because this is what DICE does, and we've seen it with the nerfs to like the recent specialists and whatnot. They do something that makes no sense. People complain about it, and they pull like a 180, and they go in the complete opposite of the problem. And now it's a different problem, right? So now let's say now I hope they're not doing the maps too small, and it's like freaking mayhem or something, I know a lot of people enjoy Metro, but still.
sure that your conquest experience have kind of intense combat areas. And above all, for me, is those times when you feel that you're getting shot at from all directions by the enemy. To help you get
Well, that's now because you got no cover.
in control, we can do this through design.
Okay, so if that's going to be Conquest, what about Breakthrough? What changes are we making here?
I love Breakthrough, I've always done, and it's that immersive frontline experience. And in the light of the 128-player discussion here, in order to retain, the promise that
AI, you really want to show this? Oh my god.
it comes with of outsmarting your opponents, we have taken an active
Could have
decision
chosen
now
oh my god, AI everywhere. Could have chosen like a better clip,
to
but
move
whatever.
permanently to 64 players to gain a better gameplay experience. Let's focus on fun. Let's focus on capturing what
So a lot of people currently what I read on Reddit are complaining about 64 players on Breakthrough because the maps are too large, and before it was 128 and it's pure mayhem. I did play Breakthrough a bit, especially for the weekly missions. But people are saying, I haven't tried the 64 player one, but people are saying the maps are too large and there's not enough players now, so you'll be spending like 10 minutes just running and then getting killed suddenly. Again, why are you playing against AI? Oh my god, this looks so bad.
enabling our players.
Like you're playing into like your haters' hand, haters like constantly posting about like there's no players online, it's only like AI I'm playing. The show is only AI.
Battlefield. We can take all of the knowledge we have in this house when it comes
Oh, it's all AI, unless it's like a test or something. But still, man, they should have done like real.
to
Whatever.
Battlefield 1, Battlefield
Whatever.
5 in building.
I guess
Breakthrough
it's,
in great ways
in-house.
for 64 players.
Let's talk a little bit about Hazard Zone. What's our future here?
I'm the first to acknowledge, high hopes. We set out on a path, but we haven't gained the traction we wanted with this mode. You can still find it in the mode selection screen. But for the maps that are coming in the seasons, we won't put it as a focus. When we look at where our players are today, it means that we can pour our love and resources into the all-out warfare experience, where we can focus on additional tools for even more fun.
So Hazard Zone is dead, just like everybody said, everybody expected, just like the Battle Royale in Battlefield 5, was it? I don't remember. Was it 1 or 5? The Battle Royale. Holy shit, I forgot. Anyways, whatever, one of those games. No, it was 5. It was 5. Like, just like the Battle Royale in 5. It's like they didn't learn their lesson. They still want to, like, capture that Fortnite and Call of Duty crowd. Oh, like, Battle Royale. But, like, those games, they're putting out content non-freaking stop. Like, there's a reason to play those games, those Battle Royales. You got game passes, you got unlocks, you got, like, huge communities, and those are built like upon like layers and layers of adding like content to those maps and whatnot. DICE didn't try anything and they failed. You know what I'm saying? Like you have like the same maps with like some random drops and squad based gameplay. I did play a bit of Hazard Zone, to be honest. It can be very immersive, it can be very fun, but honestly, you play the game, you get killed, you are in the loading menu for like 10 minutes, you're waiting for like people to like join for like 10 minutes, and then you play and you get killed in 2 minutes. There's a lot of like wait time in between that just, it's so boring. There's no point in going into it, really. The game itself is very immersive, like for Squads of 4, especially if you play with people that you know, you get like comms going. It could be very fun. It has some very fun moments with it, but that's not what I'm playing Battlefield for. I'm playing Battlefield because I want to, like he said, get shot from like 10 different directions at once, especially no cover. So I'm surprised they actually I'm not surprised they let it go, but what a waste. Holy shit. It feels like Hazard Zone was just like there to like, we don't have enough content for Battlefield 2042. People are gonna hate us for it. Let's drop like a new mode and like call it something else, and then in the end they didn't go anywhere.
So we've covered our plans for maps, we've covered our
Everybody said it's not going to go anywhere. That's what's crazy.
plans for game modes and experiences. Next, we want to talk about core gameplay. And there's a lot to unpack here, so do stick with us. Obviously, there's a big change on a big area that we want to address today, and that's specialists.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, you know, we've talked about this.
Yeah, thanks for nerfing Pike, you idiots. Pike? Sorry, not Pike. Pike. That's my main. But they decided to give her passive to like the other guy, the hacker guy. Which, if that's how you nerf specialists by taking one passive, giving to somebody else, it makes no freaking sense. Now her passive is completely useless.
I think, you know, this isn't the easiest topic, but I think that the key for us is that we've heard you. And I think, you know, when we look at this, the feedback we're getting, I mean, these have both been...
And same thing for Boris, by the way. Like, if you go like on Reddit, for example, and you see what people are saying, like, oh, I got killed by the Boris turret, it's so unfair, this and that. Honestly, I think I get killed by the Boris turret maybe like once every 2 matches. That's before the nerfs. Like, it's so... Yeah, you get killed, it sucks, but people are talking like the Boris turret, it's like, it's killing you, like you just place it and like it kills everything in front of it in like 2 seconds. It has like a freaking, yeah, it gives vision, I get it. I played Boris a bit, very, very tiny amount of Boris, mostly Pike, that's what I'm playing. And yeah, it's a bit unfair when you get killed by it, it sucks. But what did the DICE do? They went in the opposite direction, they nerfed everything about the turret, damage, vision, health, acquisition time. They nerfed freaking everything, and I'm like, no, nobody's actually like using it anymore because it completely sucks. And you know, I hope like they really got a lot of like these modern games and live services. They nerf lightly usually. And so they might apply multiple nerfs over like a longer period of time, but they always go like light nerfs to see what works, what doesn't. DICE, they heard the complaints, they nerf freaking everything. I can't wait till I hear about Sundance like losing her ability to fly. It's gonna happen because people are complaining about it. You could do like something else about it, but no, it's gonna get nerfed to the ground. Same thing for McKay
also
probably.
Been confusing. There's that sort of disconnect between the quips you hear from these specialists. They don't.
That is very true. Again, a lot of people complain about this. I didn't have much of a problem. They're a bit annoying. The tone of the game is supposed to be like this post-apocalyptic, like nightmare, and people are just out there like, oh, you know, like, hey, what's up? Let's do it again, you know? All right, it was awesome, you know? And it's like, are you guys like in a war, or are you guys just like chilling, drinking beer? You know what I'm saying?
Break the immersion for players, which has always been core to Battlefield. They're too pristine, right? So we need to, you know, they need to be dirty, they need to be gritty. How do we fit that in? So what you're going to see in the specialist is improved VO that kind of really fits them in the world. Body
I did not expect this.
Postures to sort of make them sort of fit in that Battlefield character that we're trying.
What about the lines? That's a problem. People mostly have problems with the lines, not the actual looks. The looks are whatever. People just want helmets to cover their faces thinking it's Battlefield 4, which, again, if that's all you played for the past 10 years, that's where you're stuck on.
To create.
You know, when it comes to we're bringing these changes and improvements to the gameplay side of our specialists, I mean, this is something the team is still very focused on. We're just not yet in a space where we can share the final plan. You know, as we shared earlier this year,
she's gonna get nerfed.
You know, we set out the task of finding ways to better.
Hey, there's Spike. Yay, we did it. Yeah, well, she doesn't have threat perception anymore. She has Eagle Eye or some shit. Some bullshit which sucks.
Messages into our core gameplay
so
loops.
Pissed.
You know, better communicating how these fit into the class structure of 2042, which was always our intent. The things that are stopping us from moving, you know, doing these changes sooner is to making sure that we can still deliver the key.
See, and they show you like these images. I remember the trailer because I remember reacting to this trailer, and like they show you like the most like tightest areas possible. You know, like they knew this would be it, and they still released the game without like fucking anything. Look at this shit. Like cars, containers, like cranes and shit.
Moving, you know, doing these changes.
You're inside, like walls, lights, but that's all there is. This is like the only place on the map you're gonna find this on Orbital. That's it. There's nothing else. Everything else is like wide open fields.
Is to making sure that we can still deliver the key content that our players need and address all the other changes that you need to make. We know that what we have in the game.
Same thing here, like, oh, you're in the offices. Yeah, like one area on the map is like an office. Everything else is wide open fields. But that's where they took these videos in knowing that that's what people want and that's what people expect. They don't take videos like in empty fields, you know what I'm saying?
They can be improved.
It's so dirty.
You know, we've taken the expectations that our players have and they've shared with us, you know, and we want to make sure that we can deliver on that at the best possible quality.
Oh, they show us some here.
We're not walking
away. Yeah, this is Battlefield. This is more like it.
And we want to make
this right here. 3 containers, everything else, well, good luck with that, buddy.
So that we can deliver on that at the best possible quality. I mean, we're not walking away from specialists. They're a key part of 2042.
Yeah.
But we need...
And yeah, all the people who are like, oh, I'm not playing Battlefield 2042 till they remove specialists. You can keep on dreaming. They would have never removed them. They will never place them into classes. You can forget about that. That's a lost cause, really. Don't have any hopes for that.
We get it right, and we can deliver to
Forget
our
it.
players what they deserve.
These guys were built with, live service in mind. They were built with skins in mind. They were built with monetization in mind. They're not gonna remove that money away from the game. No way.
Now on to gunplay. Naturally, you look.
I don't think people have many complaints about gunplay from what I read. Gunplay, I think it's fine. People seem to be very okay with it. Yeah, you have your usual overpowered weapons and whatnot. Besides that, I think gunplay is fine.
Seen loads of updates and improvements that we've helped to bring to the game over the last few months, but particularly with our most recent
Thanks for nerfing SMGs, by the way. Then they buffed them a bit in the last patch.
update last month. But there's
Nobody
some
spoke about
longer-term
it.
plans too. Lars, do you want to talk us through them?
Definitely. You'll see more vehicles, weapons, gadgets. While this is happening, we'll have a continuous focus on the balance of our weapons across the board. While we do have our...
I'd like to remind everybody, by the time this season 1 comes out for the new weapons and whatnot, there's only gonna be one new weapon per 2 weeks or a week or whatever. 9 months. 9 months since we've seen anything new besides skins. That's insane, dude.
plus menu, attachment system.
That's insane.
That one definitely helps you to take each weapon and give unique play styles within it. We have also started an initiative where we are...
I know they're placing a lot of focus on this plus system, and they did the same thing for the in the trailers and whatnot. Nobody's really out there changing attachments on the spot every 2 seconds. We're gonna do it once. I do when I run out of ammo. I don't I have a certain playstyle in mind, and I follow that playstyle. I'm not gonna switch out attachments every 2 seconds after every kill, It's and they're placing so much emphasis on it. Oh yeah, the plus attack, the plus system. It's okay, yeah, use it once, and then that's it.
are
Not
cherry
really.
picking a number of classic weapons
But
from
it's fine, it's options.
Portal
It's good.
to be able to rework these to be brought in
Why is there why did the guy pause the game in the middle of the video?
from Portal.
Okay, kill
to
the
be
guy,
able to
and then he presses escape. Why are they showing us this? That's so weird. What kind of clip is this,
rework
anyways?
these to be brought into the all-out warfare.
So weird.
More weapons up to the standards across the board. Weapons, guns. Do I need to say more?
You do need to say more because Battlefield 4 had 88 guns or something, and after a couple of months, and Battlefield 2042 has something like 22 guns. You need to say 4 times more about the guns if you want to actually get somewhere. Again, it's unheard of 9 months not to have any new content. It's crazy.
Next, we're going to speak about movement and the polishing updates that we're helping to bring to the game here. In July, as part of Season 1, we've got some big updates coming to...
Wait, so Season 1 is in July now? I thought it was June.
We're helping to bring to the game here. In July, as part of Season 1, we've got some big updates.
Then again, it's on par with DICE at this point. They're always late.
It's
So.
coming to how our traversal kind of works. So let's take a quick look at that.
Our goal is to improve the readability of body motions in third person and making our soldier animations look more alive and believable. A great
Do you guys remember in Battlefield 3 when they released the trailer and they were showing us how the soldiers are moving and crouching and proning and whatnot? And it was new technology and whatnot. That was 10 years ago or something. And now they're bringing it to Battlefield 2042, 9 months into the game.
This is disconnecting the aiming from turning. When aiming around, the soldier can now rotate his upper body separately from the lower body until they get to an uncomfortable position,
Again, it looks awesome, but why 9 months after the fucking game came out, man?
which causes the lower body to reposition in a more natural and comfortable manner. Another example of this includes several improvements to changing directions when either running around or sprinting.
Looks
Portions
awesome.
of the body can now lean towards the direction of the movement, which makes for nicer looking animations as well as more natural and predictable movements. We're looking forward to showing more.
This should have been the video before the game is released. It's yeah, guys, Battlefield 2042 is coming out. This is what we got for you. Improved movement and shit, compared to Battlefield 5, look at the movement, look at this, look at that, look at our maps. Not 9 months into the game. Jesus Christ, it's so unprofessional, man, I find. It's why wasn't this part of the base game? Why wasn't this part when the game launched? Why not? Because money.
in the future updates.
Playing together and staying easily with squads is, of course, vital to anyone playing Battlefield. And so getting team play where it needs to be, that is something that we're working on. What have we got planned, Ryan?
The team is looking quite heavily at how we can pull those things together. How do I make building a squad easier? How do I make sure I can find my friends and play with, be that, you know, on the same platform or cross-platform? You'll start to see the first pass in Season 1 with some of the UI improvements, and those are going to continue as we try and make the UI more understandable, more accessible for both finding modes, finding players, and staying together.
Okay, our next topic then is something we know we need to talk to you guys about, and that's performance. I appreciate we're going to be speaking pretty directly to our PC players here today. But since launch, this has been a pretty big focus for our technology teams.
It's Frostbite. It's expected. You're not gonna play like the latest FPS game on with like a 10-year-old computer. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, I think everybody knows that.
We know
Performance is always good. Obviously, I know some people had some issues with it, even with, like the latest machines, but still, it's kind of like, I think they fixed that actually.
performance has been an issue for many of you, our players, with the game dropping below our own expectations and certainly your expectations when it comes to playing.
Again, it's a huge game, huge maps, 128 players. It's kind of like what I expected. I think it's the reason why, and I think they actually mentioned at one point, is the reason why they couldn't add like extra stuff to maps, because that would just like slow down the game of too many like objects on the map or something, because the maps are too big and like there's too many people and stuff. If they find a solution for that, please go nuts.
Game on recommended and high-spec machines. Ryan, do you want to speak a bit more to this?
Well, I wish this was something that you could just, you know, fix a thing and we're good and we're done. And it's just unfortunately, you know, this is going to be that ongoing battle that we have. But the good thing is this team is committed to it. And the great thing is we see with 0.4, we started to see, you know, some of those big CPU spikes. We made a big dent in those. We're seeing better latency. Trigger responsiveness is getting back to where they expected to be, and we're seeing an improvement in frame rate. And we're going to
I personally never had any issues with this. Then again, I don't have the best machine out there either. I bought this computer like 3 years ago or something, or more. I'm not even sure anymore. But you know, it runs fine for me.
and
me,
get more of that sorted as we
maybe it's
head
different
into
for you.
Season 1 as well.
Okay, finally then, to cover our upcoming content.
But you know, the fact that, you know, some people with like very powerful machines were having issues, that's unacceptable though.
Lars, where are we at with that?
Next month with the launch of Season 1.
Okay, so it is Season 1 in June. I'm guessing they're gonna update more stuff within the season. Okay.
It really is going to mark, you know, the start of year of delivery for Season.
Oh my god, I hate this. So basically what he's saying is like, guys, so Season 1, this is when the game is coming out actually. What you played until now, that was the beta, okay? Now the actual game with the content is coming out now. So if you bought the game like 9 months ago, go fuck yourself, because the actual game is coming out in June, baby. Fucking hell.
Seasons, 4 new specialists, new exotic.
And again, just... one specialist per season? And again, the question is, you know, fine, if this game would have been very successful, you know, they'd have had like 20 seasons, and you get like a specialist per season, perfect, fine. But I think this is all you're getting for this game. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else besides that. They're obligated to do this because this is what they promised if you bought the Ultimate Edition and stuff. But you're just getting like 4 new specialists?
Locations for you to play on, and tons of new gameplay content. All
No number for locations. Could be 1, could be 2. Could be 1 or 2. That's it.
of these seasons will then come with their own battle pass
Of
for
course,
that
you gotta
extra
pay.
push, something to achieve. All of us in
course.
this building are here
Sorry, what was the last thing? New in-game store items, of course.
for you, that extra push, something to
Yeah.
achieve. All of us in this building are here ultimately to ensure that you're out there on the battlefield, playing together, having fun, finding new ways to outsmart each other. And in order to do that
In open fields.
and keep you going, we are committing to,
Dude, I just got it. Open field 2042. Fuck, I'm so smart.
you know, more weekly missions, to new featured experiences, to new community spotlights, more to keep us all happy and going on.
How about actually having a community with dedicated servers? You know? An actual community. How about that? No? Alright.
On the battlefield.
So that's our 4 areas of focus for the future of Battlefield 2042, which...
And the fact they haven't mentioned dedicated servers means it's not on the horizon, because they would have actually brought it up because I know people want that, and they've actually like been very proud about it. They're like, oh yeah, we also got dedicated servers. The fact they haven't mentioned it, it's forget it. Yeah, forget it.
I'll help to summarise here before we hear from Ryan one final time. Maps, we're making sure that we're reworking both our existing maps, starting with Kaleidoscope as part of Season 1, to help address
I really want to know how long is the season, how many months.
some of the issues and frustrations that I know we've talked a lot about over the last few months. Experiences and game modes. We are unshackling ourselves from 128 players. You'll still experience it in Conquest, but do expect to see that with Breakthrough, we're moving down to 64 players so that we can help to really drive.
I would have kept Breakthroughs 128 as well. Everything else, like I said, you know, Rush and Team Deathmatch, all that stuff. Yeah, okay, lower it, but I would have kept Breakthrough like 128.
The focus into the fun that we have in Battlefield.
Because really, if you want like any kind of like crazy ass Metro type of gameplay right now, it's Breakthrough. Otherwise, you're not gonna get it in Conquest.
42. With core gameplay, there is a lot to unpack here, starting with specialists, but also the improvements that we still have coming to gunplay.
Are they gonna make Pyke look less weird? Because damn, son. And again, this was one of them. Like they actually showed us the actually, like I think it was on Reddit. They were showing us like the actual people that these characters were modeled after, and Pyke like in real life looks freaking great, and like in game looks freaking weird.
To UI
So we'll
UX stuff that you can read about over on the Battlefield website. And then finally, new content. It's coming soon. We have our new season starting next month, and that is going to kickstart a whole new
No exact date.
year of us bringing new things onto the
So expect next month. Expect July 29th.
Battlefield.
No, let's be realistic. It's gonna release on July 21st.
Now, we'll keep updating you on our areas of focus
June
throughout the
21st,
year,
sorry.
and you'll
June
hear again
21st.
from me next month when we come back to talk about the new season with members of the Battlefield team. But before we go, we want to hear from Ryan one last time, so I know you wanted to talk to the players directly.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. I mean, Lars and I are here today,
This feels heartfelt. Okay, tell us.
and we're really grateful to be able to represent the entire Battlefield team and reaffirm our commitment to Battlefield 2042. The team has made a ton of updates to this game, but we know it's not enough, and we know we need to keep doing more. So on behalf of the team at Ripple Effect, EA Gothenburg, our new studio in Seattle, DICE, and all of the Battlefielders across EA, we just want you to know that we are
It's like his dad is proud of him, you know?
here.
Good job,
so,
son.
Thank you for sticking with us. And to steal a line from my good friend Lars here, we'll see you on the battlefield.
For more, head over to the Battlefield
I'm actually a player that actually stuck with them, by the way, and I did buy the Ultimate Edition. I did pre-order that shit, so I actually do play the weekly missions, and maybe play like a game here and there. So
website, and we'll see you next time, folks. Bye-bye.
I think, you know what? I think that was what he said there. I think that was actually genuine. Like, I think he actually meant it because he knows what's up. Obviously, everybody knows what's up, but you know, it's like corporate talk. You can't really say it out loud. You know, I'm sure the guy just wanted to say, hey, guys, listen, we're sorry, we fucked up. The game wasn't ready. We're trying our best to like get it out there and make it our vision that we had like years ago when we started building this game. We'll do our best to like show you guys what we got, you know, because this game was not ready at release. This game needed, if this game would have been left like another, I want to say another year. Like, let them work on this game for like another year before release. If they would have released it for this year's like December, people would have loved this game. People would have loved this game, but you know, it is DICE, you know, has like a deadline with EA probably, and they had to get it out now. A lot of people from DICE quit, the more senior programmers and whatnot, people in charge. So these new people could come in. Everybody knows that, you know, Frostbite is hard to work with. It's a very complicated engine. You got new people working on it. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It takes longer. COVID, everybody's working from home. Excuses. And a bit of reality, of course, because that's what it is. And they came up with this, which I'm sure the guy on the left there, he knew what's up. And maybe the guy on the right, they probably all know what's up. They probably know what's up in the studio, you know. They know that the game wasn't ready. And that's why I'm so pissed, because they show us like all these changes, which look freaking great for the maps. And the question is, why wasn't this at the beginning? The answer is because deadlines, money, and so on and so forth, inexperience. At the same time, what worries me is that there's not too many people working on this. I have a feeling they just kind of like moved on, and they kind of like got like a skeleton crew on just like basically adding on like sandbags and containers to maps and new weapons and whatnot. Well, everybody else, the main guys, went to work on the new Battlefield 6 or whatever, right? Because I don't think this is Battlefield 6. The next Battlefield is gonna be Battlefield 6. Check it out. This is not gonna be like a number title, you know. So that kind of like it sucks a bit, right? Because the game had potential. 128 players was unseen before. You know what I'm saying? For a team-based gameplay, right? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. We'll see where it goes. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my very long rambling. Holy shit, I did not expect this. I did not expect to like complain so much, but here we are, you know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys. Space.